Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Thank you so much for joining me for another video today. If you are new here, my name is Ore Adeboyega. I'm a pharmacist and also a mini YouTuber, I guess. I'm a mini YouTuber, guys. On my channel, you will find all things career, so specifically health, healthcare career path, so pharmacy, obviously specializing in that, but we also will talk about medicine and other kind of healthcare careers, and also a little bit of lifestyle, fitness and health and wellness. I am on Instagram as well, so if you don't follow me on Instagram, please make sure you head over to Instagram and follow me at Supasta. I would love for you to join my Superstar family on Instagram. So today I'm not hosting anybody today, it's just me. And I wanted to kind of just jump on here really quick to essentially just kind of like fill you in on my little journey. Obviously I've been talking to a lot of people over the past couple of weeks. I've been interviewing people, I've been kind of like, you know, talking to people about their own journeys and what they're doing and stuff like that, and kind of encouraging you guys, my audience, to step outside your comfort zone. Step outside your comfort zone. And I just want to talk a little bit about, you know, my experiences and the things that I've been doing over the past couple of months, the things that I have done to step outside my own comfort zone. So the last time I think I done a sit down video like this, I think I was kind of talking about, you know, some of my pet peeves around retail pharmacy and, you know, some of the things that I basically haven't liked much about retail pharmacy and the different things that I guess I'm trying to navigate through working as a retail pharmacist. So just a little quick update, I am no longer working as a retail pharmacist, which is exciting, but also a little bit, you know, frightening at the same time, because obviously retail pharmacy is where I've worked, as in since I've been here for the past year or so. So yeah, essentially no longer working in that line anymore. I'm now working as a hospital pharmacist, specifically in mental health, and it is amazing so far, learning so many great things. Some of you may or may not know, if you have been following me on Instagram, or if you've ever followed me on Instagram, you may or may not know that I did work as a mental health pharmacist when I was in the UK. So I do have a little bit of mental health background. Yeah, previously found mental health really exciting, informative, you know, a lot of learning to do. It's very kind of like eye-opening as well to kind of see the different kind of cases that we come across, the medicines, the drugs that are used, how they are used in comparison to medical drugs. It's so interesting. So I loved and have always loved mental health. So being back working in mental health is super exciting. I'm learning so much, working in a much bigger team than I was working, obviously as a retail pharmacist. And yeah, I'm enjoying it so far. It's definitely an interesting journey. So a lot of you know that obviously, again, if you follow me on Instagram, you will see a lot more of my journey on there. You know, I shared obviously before coming to Canada, I essentially worked as a hospital pharmacist. I work more in admissions, so accident and emergency admissions. I worked cardiology and elderly care. So I've done a lot of medical kind of like specialties, whereas now it's more kind of psychiatric or psychiatry. So it's definitely interesting. I decided that I just did not want to do retail anymore. I don't know if you guys have been, there's currently you know, a couple of things going on online, social media wise, so Instagram, and also more specifically LinkedIn. There's this whole big thing about a couple of pharmacy chains, more in the US. And you know, something, an incident happened with one of the chains, and it kind of resonated with me in a big way, because I feel like as pharmacists, as retail pharmacists specifically, a lot of people are going through a similar thing. Like, people are experiencing, you know, burnout, people are experiencing, you know, just a lot of stress, anxiety, and health issues just around being, you know, a retail pharmacist. I don't think it's specifically, you know, retail pharmacy. I think it's retail in general, but I feel like 2020 made it quite obvious that the retail healthcare scene was really struggling, because everywhere else was closed. Like, stores were closed and supermarkets were closed, and people were like limited to, like, you know, I guess how much they could interact with retail staff. But when it came to healthcare, we had to continue working. So through the whole pandemic, we never really got a break. We never got time away from customers. We, if anything, got more and more attention from customers and from the public. And I feel like that really kind of brought to light the issues that have been at hand in retail pharmacy. You guys who may follow me on Instagram know that I'm quite big on my health and wellness, my fitness journey. And yeah, my work was starting to impact those areas of my life. And I just felt like I just couldn't continue with that. And I've always had a passion for clinical pharmacy, much more clinical than, you know, being in a retail pharmacy. If anything, I would have wanted to be in a retail pharmacy that was progressive, a retail pharmacy that was doing things to advance and, you know, be more clinically involved in our community's health. And I didn't really find that was happening where I was. So I decided to peace out, a town down kind of situation. I'm so grateful for that step, that bold, brave step to do that. I'm grateful for the opportunity to be able to do that. Essentially, I had made this decision months before I actually decided to take the step and look for the next steps or the next chapter. And when I started looking, I always say to you guys, you know, I think it's important to not just look, you know, on Indeed or, you know, look on whatever the conventional websites are for pharmacists, but actually look at other networking opportunities that are out there and use those networking opportunities to potentially meet your new employers and your new colleagues and so on and so forth. So I decided to use LinkedIn as a tool because LinkedIn is great. LinkedIn is something that I never really use much in the UK, and I'm using more and more here in Canada. And I'm finding that LinkedIn is opening a lot more doors, even if it's just on a kind of networking level. It's opening a lot more doors and opportunities for me to kind of like meet new pharmacists, meet other people who are not just pharmacists, meet people who are pharmacists but working in different sectors and learn from them, grow, you know, my kind of knowledge and understanding of my profession and so on and so forth. I essentially looked on LinkedIn, applied to a couple of jobs. I actually applied for a project management job, which is a pharmacist project management position. Yes, y'all, those jobs are out there. So I applied for this position as a project manager pharmacist, and essentially it was such an interesting kind of like job description. The job description was interesting. The kind of things that you know, I guess the prospective person was whoever was going to get the job was going to be doing was super interesting. Unfortunately, I didn't get the job. I you know, essentially interviewed a couple of interviews, actually very long interview process. If I'm being honest, long interview process. But it was very nice to meet the people, the team. So the people who obviously who interviewed me, the directors, the team leads and so on and so forth, the project leads. And it just gave me an opportunity to basically, I guess, know that there are roles out there for pharmacists that are not just like retail or hospital. And I'm really grateful that I was able to even interview for that position. So yeah, I found that position on LinkedIn. Essentially, I used my resume, or in the UK we call it curriculum vitae. Essentially, I went onto LinkedIn, looked at the job description. I remember actually just like really skimming through, and they were not specifically, so okay, in this particular job description or in this job title, it did have pharmacist, but not all these positions actually have pharmacists, because when I went to the job requirements, you know, or the degree requirements, obviously pharmacy degree was there, but there were other degrees that were there. So basically that told me that they would like to take a pharmacist, but they would take anybody else that had some healthcare background and project management under their belt. So basically looking at that job description, applying for that role, interviewing for that role, although I didn't get the job, made me realize as a pharmacist, I can do other kind of like, you know, courses that can basically add a value to what I carry as a pharmacist. I don't have to just do health related or pharmacy related courses. You can do a project management course, you can do a course in IT, you can do a course in, you know, people management or whatever it's called, like anything that basically can help to, you know, advance, you know, what you have on your resume or your CV, and attract potential employers. So that was a really, really good kind of like interview process. I learned a lot from it. And I think sometimes, you know, when we apply for jobs and maybe we don't get the job, it doesn't necessarily mean that we haven't learned from that process. We've learned how to interview, we've learned the kind of questions, you know, they could potentially ask us. We've networked with somebody, because they will remember you. They do remember you. The employers will always remember you, whether you get the job or not. there is an opportunity there for you to get the job again in the future, or to get a different job. So they always remember you. So that interview experience is experience. It's not wasted. It's something that you've learned. It's something that you have, you know, taken from us in terms of networking. And so I didn't just apply to jobs on LinkedIn. I applied to jobs on Indeed as well. So I put my resume up. I basically put all the different skills and things that, you know, I had, you know, the different jobs I'd worked at, what I'd done at those jobs. The jobs that I was finding on LinkedIn were so much more interesting than the ones on Indeed, which is why I say, like, sometimes it's not just Indeed that you should focus on. You know, go onto LinkedIn, look at the different jobs available, go onto company websites, and actually a lot of pharmaceutical companies, GSK, you know, whatever other pharmaceutical companies you have in your country, because I know they're different everywhere. Go onto their companies' websites and look at careers, and some people actually have jobs on there. Shoppers Drug Mart do that a lot as well. They sometimes have, I mean, not sometimes, they do have jobs on there. Broaden your horizon. Don't just focus on one recruiting website. You know, speak to agents as well. Reach out to LinkedIn recruiters. This is something I was doing a lot, you know, trying to reach out to LinkedIn recruiters and, you know, letting them know I'm open to work. I'm looking for an opportunity. This is kind of what I'm looking for. This is where I'm willing to travel to. I drive, I don't drive, whatever it is that you have to offer, what skills you have, all that kind of stuff. So it's really, really important. So eventually I was able to successfully get my current job now. And, you know, it's, as I said, it's been an amazing experience so far. It's been interesting to learn so much and be part of a team, essentially, like being part of a team and also contributing to that team, you know, bringing something to the table, not just taking away from me. I don't know if any of you feel the same way regarding retail pharmacy. I feel like there is a lot of work to be done by pharmacy bodies, by, you know, employers, to make the environment, make the roles a little bit more, you know, I guess, mentally rewarding, if that makes sense, for pharmacists. It's a lot of work. It is a lot of work. It's draining, and there's just always this kind of pressure on community pharmacy. The pressure is not the same for hospital pharmacists. I think the pressure is not the same for industrial pharmacists. It might be, there might be pressure, but it might look different, if that makes sense. And I find that retail pharmacy just has this big pressure on it, and it's just causing people to run away from the sector. And one thing I will say is, if you love retail pharmacy, stay there, rock it, find a place that really, really serves you, serves your goals. As important as it is for them to basically, you know, make the most or get the most out of you as an employee, it's important for you to also get the most out of the role. So whether that is being able to achieve your specific personal goals in your career, whether that's climbing up the ladder, becoming a manager, becoming an area manager, becoming a superintendent, whatever that might look like, I think it's so important for you to also get the most out of the role. The job is not serving you mentally, if it's draining you emotionally, physically, you need to get out. At the end of the day, you can only put in the energy that you have, and if you do not have the energy, positive energy, you can't give the best to your job. If you do not have what it takes to present your best work, there's no point of you being there. And you can't present your best work if you are not at your best mentally, emotionally, physically. You find that a job is getting very like choky, and it's kind of draining you of, you know, your creativity, your you know, mental strength and energy, then you need to kind of reconsider where you are, and do not be afraid to start again. Listen, do not be afraid to take a role that is paying you a little bit less, but will give you that extra skill that you need for the next chapter in your career. I feel like sometimes we're always looking for the next job that's going to add a couple of zeros to our pocket, but actually drain a couple of sleeps from our routine. We need to get to a point where we're like, if I'm going to take a job that is paying me $1,000 less a year than what I'm getting, but it's going to give me the ability to be more creative, to chase my goals, and to get more skills, so that when I do exit that role, I then have the things I need for the next chapter in my career, then so be it. At the end of the day, you can earn more dollars and you can earn more pounds or whatever it is that currency you're earning in, but lose more of yourself in that job. That's not what we want. That's not what we need. We need a job that rewards us, not just financially, but also in terms of our lifestyle and our well-being. I hope that you guys enjoyed my short little video. I will be back again in a couple of weeks time with a new guest, and I'm so excited for the guests that I have coming up. If you guys have any suggestions of videos or things that you would want me to talk about or discuss, please do let me know. Comment in the comments box or send me an email, drop me a DM on Instagram, whatever it is, and I will definitely reach out and be able to put something out there for you. Thank you guys so much. If you haven't subscribed, please make sure you do. God bless.